Water can stay in here. I ask everybody to wear a name tag so I can learn your names quickly. Okay. You can wear 2 name tags if you want. One on your sweater, one on the shirt. That'll work. As long as they have the same name on them. Otherwise, I get really confused.
I'll wait till that 9.
You're in a tournament at 3 o'clock.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll answer all of those questions about all of that stuff over the next 2 lessons.
I think it's an easy game, but when you watch really advanced players, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah. Well, you're not ready yet, but
No.
we have the ability to make you ready for that.
I need a paddle.
Yeah, right over there. There's a selection on top of the bookshelf there.
Is your name Coach?
You can call me Coach. Yeah, everybody calls me Coach, except my family. My family calls me something else. I've been a coach for 30 years. I've been teaching or playing pickleball for 19 years. So I know some stuff about pickleball. Pickleball's been around since 1964. It's really taken off in the last 20 years. It's really, I started the first programs in Calgary about 15 years ago, and it's really taken off since then. So, yeah. Anybody coming from a racket sports background? Tennis, okay. Squash, okay. Just squash? Or squash?
Some tennis.
Some tennis, okay, yeah. Nobody else? Yeah, well. Okay. So, the reason I'm asking is you have some experience intercepting a moving object out of the air with another object. Baseball, all the racket sports, golf is helpful, hockey is helpful. Ping pong, yeah? Ping pong is a good one. All right. Okay, so what's going to happen over the next 4 hours, 2 hours today and 2 hours next Sunday? Today is going to be all about just becoming comfortable with the ball and learning some key concepts that we're going to need next week when we start scorekeeping. Today, we're not going to do any scorekeeping. We're just going to learn things like what a rally is, what a side out is, what a point is, those sorts of things. I'm also going to do an assessment right at the start so I can assess and see kind of what everybody's racket skill level is at. Whatever level you're at, I'll be able to help you. That's not a problem. But I just need to kind of see that so I can gauge and determine how the lesson's going to go from there. We're going to be doing 4 30-minute sessions this morning. We'll be taking a very quick water break, bathroom break, rest, pause in between. It's very difficult to hear in the room, so I may choose to talk to you out here more often than in there. I will have to do some talking in there. When we talk in there, if we're in the center of the room, all you're going to hear are my echoes. If we get near a wall and we're all close together, you're going to actually be able to hear my voice. Hearing is going to be your most difficult challenge in the next 4 hours that we're in that gymnasium, just because of the echoes. Anybody have any questions before we get started? Any burning questions that you wanted answered?
Why is it called pickleball?
There's a long story. There's 2 different versions of this story on the internet. I'm not going to go into it now. But you can Google that, and you'll see it on YouTube. There's a couple of explanations. Good question, though. All right, let's go get started. All the balls and stuff are in here. All right, so first 4 people through the door are going to go to that court. 1, 2, 3, 4. You 4 are on that court, and you 2, coincidentally, came together. You're going to be on this court. All right.
I'd rather not be with my spouse.
No? Okay, well, I need one of you then to come over to this side. Do we want to have all the ladies together and the 2 men together? Okay, we can do that. All right, so I'm going to pass you a ball. 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys can grab one of those balls each. Okay, the first thing we're going to learn is called a ground stroke, which means that the ball bounces on the ground before we hit it. So this is all we're doing. Let it bounce on the ground and then hit it. Bounce on the ground and then hit it. All right. Hold your ball. Come on in a little closer so you can hear me. All right. So you've probably already noticed that the ball will only go straight up in the air if the object that it's bouncing off of is flat. So when it bounces on the floor, it comes straight up. If your paddle's flat, it will also go straight up. If your paddle's tilted, it's going to go off to the side, right? So first thing we need to learn with ground strokes is let it hit the ground, get the paddle flat underneath it so we can bump it straight up in the air. All right, so let's work on that.
Holding it more like this.
Yep.
And like this.
Yeah, so you can hold it like it's a hammer if you want.
Oh, okay.
That's the simplest way, and then just turn it that way. Oh. All right, so you're gonna have a little more success if when you bounce it, you get a little bit lower and hit it a little higher in the air, because then it'll bounce a little higher for you. Hold your balls for 1 second. All right, if you want to create a high bounce, you need to get it a little higher in the air. Right? If you get it high in the air, you're going to get a nice high friendly bounce. If you only hit it up a little bit, it's going to be a very low bounce, right? So try and get it to go up in the air a little bit so you can get a friendlier bounce. Awesome, everybody's doing great. Okay, that's our first lesson. Wasn't that easy? Super easy. Okay, that's called a ground stroke because the ball bounces on the ground before we stroke it. Ground, stroke. Okay, that's the way to remember that. There's another kind of stroke called a volley. It's where the ball doesn't hit the ground. We just hit it out of the air. This is called a volley. So ground stroke, volley. Okay, so now we're going to do some volleys. We're just going to do this. All right, hold your balls. Come on a little closer so you can hear me. You've probably noticed that when the paddle gets too close to your body, it gets really difficult to control the ball. It's actually helpful if it's a comfortable distance away from your body. If it's too far away, it's hard to control. If it's too close. That comfortable distance away from your body is the key to everything in pickleball. Your contact points, whether you're hitting ground strokes or volleys or serves or anything, you want the ball to be a comfortable distance from your body, right? So you can see that comfortable distance for me is my arm has a little bit of a bend in it, not a total bend. I'm not at 90 degrees, has a little bit of a bend in it, and I'm not fully stretched, right? So the ball's out where I can see it, and it's just a comfortable distance out front. All right, so let's do a few more volleys from a comfortable distance out front. Okay, stop. and come on in again. Okay. Also very important is the way that you're hitting the ball. If you hit a drum, the drumstick bounces back. If we play pickleball that way, it will be a disaster. What we want is a push. Nice, oops, got that out of control. Nice, gentle push. I'm not poking the ball. I'm not slapping the ball. Nice, gentle lift, push. And after I hit, I actually follow through a little bit. So I don't want to be hitting and pulling my racket away. I don't want to be pounding it like a nail. I want to be giving it just a little push, or a bump is another way to think about it. So really focus on, for the next few minutes, on making that good, smooth push contact. Okay, everybody, that's awesome. Okay, come on in. Last racket and ball lesson I want to teach you today is how the ball bounces. Most people think that when I drop this ball, it's going to bounce down, it's going to bounce straight up, down, up, down, up, down, up, gradually getting smaller. What you're going to notice when I drop this ball is it doesn't go straight up and down. It actually jumps around like a Mexican jumping bean. See that? It doesn't go straight up and down. It jumps left, right, forward, backward. The bounce is unpredictable. So if I throw this ball to Ryan and it bounces on the ground, it's not always going to bounce in a straight line. It might bounce, you see that one? Bounce a little bit towards the inside. So it's really important when you're hitting balls to watch the bounce. What I teach my students to do is not just watch the bounce, but listen to the sound. Process those two things at the same time. Because you can hear when the ball lands on a round and when it lands on a hole. When it lands on a hole, it's going to jump offline. So you got to keep, you've heard the phrase, keep your eye on the ball. Really important to keep your eye on the ball. So we're going to do some ground strokes again. We're going to finish with ground strokes. We're just going to watch that moment where the ball hits the ground so that we see where that ball is before we hit it, because we want to hit it with the middle of our racket. Let's take about 2 minutes and do that, okay? Oops. There you go. Did your name tag fall off, sir?
Sorry?
Did your name tag fall off?
Oh, no. I took my shirt.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
Manny. For
Manny?
short.
Okay.
Emmanuel.
That's good. Yep. All right. Stop, everybody. I'm going to get Stevie and Ryan on this side of the court, and I'm going to get Manny and myself here. Everybody else, I'd like you to be in this white box. I call this the penalty box, so if I ask you to go to the penalty box, that means go stand against the wall in this square here. Manny, you're going to be on this side with me. All right. So Ryan and I are just going to rally back and forth. I'm just going to bump the ball to Ryan. He's going to bump it back to me, nice and easy. Oh, it's okay. Nice. Oh, a little softer. Just nice and easy. We're just bumping it. There we go. Just halfway to me. Halfway to me. Perfect. Little tennis in your stroke. All right, so this is a ground stroke. Oh. This is a ground stroke. This is a volley. That was an attempted volley. Okay, so we can do this back and forth across the net. We'll have Manny try it with Stevie now. Oh, nice and easy. Easy, easy peasy. Sorry? We're not hitting it straight up in the air like we were practicing. We're putting it back and forth across the net. Okay? Okay, stop. Whoa! Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. Come in. 4 of you come in. You guys can stay there. Come on. Come here. Bring it here. Awesome. All right. So, if I take a big backswing, I'm going to hit it a long way, right? That's all right. I don't need to take any kind of backswing. If Ryan and I are just rallying here in front of the net, I can keep the paddle in front of me the whole time, right? There we go. There we go. Look at how neither one of us are taking a very big backswing. The paddle's staying in front of us the whole time. See that? That's what we're trying to do. Okay, so grab a partner. Now you said you don't want to be with your spouse. Who's your spouse? You don't want to be with your spouse. Okay.
Not when I'm playing.
Then you're going to pick one of these 2 ladies to partner with. And the other 2 are going to partner together. Stevie and Ryan, I'll get you to go over to that court, please. You can be right here across the net from each other. You guys can be across the net from each other here. So I want you 2 to just nice and don't make her run too far. Nice and easy. Nice and easy back and forth, okay? Sure. Oh. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, you're going to aim for this target. Stevie's going to aim for this target. Yeah, you want it to land on that target. And just bump it back and forth. Nice and easy. Good, you're doing great. Pause for a second. Okay. You're going to aim for the targets. Nice and easy. Yep, you're going to aim for the targets. So you're going to come up here. Stand close to your target. You're going to come up here close to your target. Come on up, Manny. Yeah, you're going to be, and that's the right distance back. So now you're going to aim for her target, and you're going to aim for her target. Okay? And vice versa. A little closer. You're just giving it a bump. Nice, easy bump. Oh, yeah, there we go. Nice try. So aim for the targets. There you go. You hit a target? It's awesome. Yeah, just go rallying back and forth. Ground strokes or volleys. Yep, that's awesome. Aim for the target. Perfect. Nice and easy. A nice tweener, Manny. So you want to get up a little closer to your target. There you go. There you go. Nice and easy. Perfect. All right. So let's make this easier. We're going to have 1 ball for 4 people now. All right? So you guys can aim for either one of these 2 targets. They're going to aim for either one of those 2 targets. And we only need 1 ball, so we're going to get you to serve. And your name is Sandy, right? Valerie? Caroline? Okay. Good. You're doing great. Doing great. Hit a target again? Nice. They're hitting targets all over here. Good. You guys are doing great. Keep it up. Awesome. Okay, everybody pause for a second, please. Pause. Catch the ball and pause. Okay. We're going to do something called a rotation. Stay where you are. We're going to do something called a rotation. One person's going to be the anchor, and everybody's going to move around that person. So the anchor is going to be Carolyn. So everybody else is going to move clockwise one position. So Stevie, you're going to go over to where Manny is. Manny, you're going to go over there. You're going to slide over. Perfect. Manny, you're going to slide over there. Perfect. All right, now continue what we were just doing with your new partners. He'll be nice. I promise. Yeah, you can go any one. You were aiming for either one of those two targets. They're aiming. Yeah, no worries. Good control. Oh, nice try. All right, what's your target, Manny? Right about there. You guys are doing great. It's awesome. Good control. All right, so grab the ball and follow me. Oh, good time. Good timing. Okay, hold the ball. Stop. Now I need to define the playing surface. Come on in where you can hear me. The playing surface is the outside green lines all the way around the court. Yeah. Everything inside the outside green lines is part of the playing surface. There are other lines. I will deal with those later. But for right now, I want you to understand that the playing surface is the outside green lines and everything in between. So, these green lines, yeah, the outside green lines. See at the box all the way around? There's an inside green line and an outside green line. So on this court, so in this room, there's 3 courts, right? There's court over there, court in the middle, which curtain is across, and then this one. Okay? So, if Manny and I are playing and Manny hits me the ball and it lands out here, the rally ends. Right? Because Manny has just hit the ball out of bounds. Right? So that's the playing surface. On the playing surface, we have a net. The ball has to cross the net. If Manny and I are playing and I hit the ball into the net and it doesn't go across the net, that also ends the rally. Everybody understand that? Okay. Yeah, so we want it to cross the net. Each team can hit it once. Sorry? Correct. You can only hit it across the net. Yep. There's an 85-page rule book. I am very slowly, over the 4 hours that we're doing this class, going to introduce you to the 10 most important pages of the rule book. 45 of the pages are about tournaments. They don't apply to you guys at all. And then there's a whole bunch of rules that we're just not going to get into to get you started. You will learn those over time. You need to know about 10 pages of rules in order to start playing the game at a beginner level. So that's all I'm going to introduce you to. Okay, so we're going to go back to our court, and we're going to be aware of the playing surface in the net. We're going to continue doing what we were doing. Whose ball do I have? There we go. Okay, there we go. What's that? No, leave the targets. I want the targets there so you know where you're aiming at. So stand a little closer, a little further up because you're a little far back. There we go. Aim for your targets. Aim for your targets. Aim for your targets. Now I'm going to move your targets back a little bit further. Just to lengthen the court for you a little bit. Yeah, I still want you to aim for your target, but the target's going to be in a slightly different place. I'm going to move you back just a little bit so that you can get used to a longer court. You guys are doing great. I'm going to adjust your targets to make the court a little bit longer for you. Pull that back. Yep. There we go. Perfect. Yep. Yeah, somewhere around there. There we go. That's good. Okay, so now we're going to hit it a little further. So I'm just going to make a small adjustment to your grip, Stevie. So because the ball's going way up in the air because you're hitting it directly underneath the ball, if you hit the ball in the back of the ball and point your paddle face angle a little more that way, it'll stay a little bit lower. Much better, Stevie. That was awesome. Very good, Stevie. Oh, nice try, Carolyn. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's do a rotation. Everybody's going to rotate around Carolyn. Carolyn's going to stay where she is. You're going to slide over here. Manny, you're going to slide over this court. Manny? Oh. Hear me on this court. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Okay. You're doing great as our anchor, Carolyn. There you go. Good job hitting your targets, ladies. That's awesome. That's great. Can you pull that back up to the white line? Move back to the white line now. There we are. Yeah. Oh, nice try. Okay, we're going to pull these back to the white line. White line. We're going to put it on the white line. Pull that to the white line, white line, white line. Perfect. Ooh. A little more difficult from back here, isn't it? Getting a little warm, Stevie? Double knotted. She should be good now. Very nice. That was a great catch. Volley. Ground stroke. Oh, into the net. All right. So everybody, let's pick up our targets and let's go for our first water break. Can you pick your target up there? Just pick up the target. Yeah. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank on your name. Sandy. I couldn't remember your name. Thank you. Thank you, Valerie. Okay, so you should be warm. Time for our first water break, bathroom break if you need it. We're going to rest for a few minutes, and then we're going to get back at it. Can I get you to put that in the room?
Yeah, of course.
That way it doesn't...
Of course. Can I leave my paddle here?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? The balls with the holes, yeah, remind me when I was learning to play golf.
Oh yeah.
They have the golf balls
Oh,
with
yeah.
the holes.
Oh,
Yeah.
There was another, what other sport do they have those, pickleball like that? Well, that's with the curve. Yeah, you can throw it, yeah.
You having fun?
Yeah.
Good, good. All right, come on out in the lobby. We'll chat a little bit. It's a little easier to hear out here. So, all right, we'll get back to the instruction in a couple of minutes. Concepts, a couple of key concepts I want to talk about. One of which is training to get better. How many people are here and want to get better in the sport? Yeah, most people coming into the sport do. Some people only want to be good enough to play with their friends, which is fine. I mean, if this is your activity, then that's as good as you need to be. That's fine. Some people want to, get in and get in leagues and get in tournaments and see how good that they can be. Yes. So to each their own. That's awesome. In any case, if you want to get better, there's some things that you can do all by yourself that will help you become better, right? But there's a limit to what those things can do and how good you can become doing those things. Eventually, you're going to need to involve another person. So you can have what's called a training partner. Training partners are awesome because they give you somebody to practice with. Problem with training partners is you can only do things that involve two people, right? And if your training partner's not available, then you're back to training by yourself, right? Next level up from a training partner is 3 training partners or a foursome, 4 people to fill a court. Again, better than 2 because you can do the things that involve 4 people. You can actually play some practice games, but if one of them's away, now you're down to 3, doesn't work out. So the best option is to become part of a training group. If you have a training group, if you're part of a training group of about 20 people, there's always enough people in town to form 2 to 4 courts. Sometimes you can even do more. At any given time in a training group, you can be sure that about half the people are going to be unavailable. So you want a training group of about 20 people. One of the reasons people join Cedar Brae is they become part of training groups. And training groups, especially in the summertime, when you want to practice a lot, most people practice more in the summer than they do in the winter. That being a member here is going to help you with that. Any questions about getting better and developing as a player? Yes?
Is it a game that you play with twosome, like two people most of the time, or is it a game you have to practice with 4 people, like how to get better?
So there's a singles version of the game, which is 1-on-1, and there's a doubles version of the game, which is 2 versus 2, right? Training is a little bit different. So to get better at pickleball, you have to, there's a small number of things that you have to do over and over and over again, like serving, for example, returning the serve, learning some specific shots. And if you do, there's a small group of things that if you do them a lot, you will get significantly better. And there's a whole bunch of things that you don't do very often. You'll generally learn those in the process of playing games. But the things that require a lot of repetitions, those are the things that you're going to do in practice. Was that your question?
Yeah. So when you join a group, do you ask, okay, I want to play with 2 people, or do you just join a group?
Well, when you join a training group, they'll if you're joining an active training group, they already have an agenda. They'll say on this day we're practicing our ground strokes, on this day we're doing a mixed practice today where we're going to practice these things, and the group will decide as a group, right? Yeah. My training groups are all coached, so I do lesson plans for them. So when they come into practice with me, I watch my athletes on video every day. I see where it is they're developing, where they need help, right? So, but there's a lot of training groups that are independent and they make their own decisions. So, you had a question?
Yeah. Yep. So, in terms of rackets, I noticed one of the rackets is bigger.
A little bit bigger, yeah.
So, what is the difference? Somebody's playing with one that's a bit bigger.
Yeah, it's just a different shape. It's just like tennis rackets. There's some that are bigger, some that are smaller, some that are longer, some that are thinner. The most important thing about a paddle is its thickness. All the paddles that you guys have, that one's thicker. That one's probably a 15 mil paddle. That's kind of the standard nowadays. The other ones are older and they were kind of the standard about 4 years ago. Thicker is better. Thicker and heavier makes the game easier to play. Ladies all want to get the smallest, lightest paddles they can get because they think that they look more ladylike, which results in all of my ladies playing with a paddle that makes the game more difficult to play with initially, and then they learn. So a thicker, heavier paddle helps you deal with wind, helps you deal with power, helps you generate power, helps you with defense. So thicker and heavier is kind of the way to
The
go.
size of male versus female paddle
It doesn't really matter, but there are some women who are very petite and they prefer to play with paddles with smaller handles, right? And there are some men that are very big. One of the guys I coach is 6'8". So.
And is the grip always the same? Because
No, you can adjust the grip. You can add layers to it to make it thicker. So my guy who's 6'8" adds about 10 layers of overgrip to his paddle because he needs something that's appropriate to his hand size. And I've got some ladies, I had one lady who's like 1 inch below the official height of a dwarf. She has a very, very small handle. So, yeah. Anyway, so let's go back in the room and let's get moving forward. All right, so we're going to have everybody come on over into one court over here. I'm going to use Ryan and Stevie and Manny again, if you don't mind. Manny, you're going to be my partner. Ryan and Stevie are going to be over there. Everybody else is going to be in the penalty box. Can I get you two to switch sides? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, go over, stand in the penalty box. Manny's going to be my partner here. Okay, so to start a rally, we need to serve. We need to get the ball into play, right? So I'm going to serve to Ryan, and I just want you to catch the ball, okay? So back up all the way to the baseline, back up all the way to the baseline. You can stay where you are. Okay, so I'm going to serve the ball to Ryan. He's just going to catch it. Yeah. Okay, now you can serve it back to me. Perfect. And I'm going to catch it. Okay, one more. I'm going to serve to Ryan. Let it bounce. Catch it. Right on. Serve it back to me. Catch it. Perfect. Okay. That's what a serve looks like. Yes. Come on in.
I've seen some people bounce the ball
Yep.
like a tennis ball.
Very next topic I was going to talk about. So you saw that I served the ball out of the air. That's called a volley serve. But there's also a drop serve, which is a ground stroke, right? It can come off of the ground. So either serve is fine. On both serves, the most important thing is that your feet are outside of the green line when you make contact with the ball. Yeah? So you're going to be outside of the green line when you make contact with the ball. So you can drop the ball in the court and hit it as long as your feet are outside of the line. When you make contact with the ball, your feet have to be outside of the line. Otherwise, that's a fault. Okay?
Because the ball bounces this way, it'd be better to go this way.
Yeah, I don't like a ground serve, a drop serve, specifically for that reason. But a lot of people find it easier to do a drop serve. There's no problem with the drop serve, provided you keep your eye on the ball. Because if you're not keeping your eye on the ball, it could jump. Well, it is going to jump. So that's a good question. Any other questions about the serve? Yeah?
The couple times I played this game, my service, my problem.
Yep.
And people are telling me, I noticed you're hitting it sort of, I seem to
Yeah.
can't
So,
stop doing that.
yeah,
It's a
a
terrible
lot of people when they first start serving, it's a kind of a pendulum serve. You can serve that way if you want. I don't. Yeah. So my serve is my arm is a little bit bent. I'm still turned sideways. Okay. So this class is not a. I understand your question. I do want, and it's a good time to address it. I'm not going to be spending time in this class teaching you strokes, but I'll show you on our wall in our pickleball room where the schedule of strokes classes are. And your next step after this class, if you need some assistance with that stuff, would be a strokes class, right? Because you want to learn good fundamentals of serving and returning and that sort of thing. Okay, so yeah, it was my next, exactly, perfect. So volley serve or bounce serve is fine. The next thing I want you to notice is the center line. So there's a center line right down this court, green line here. That court has a black center line. The other court has a green center line. It needs to go diagonally from this box to that box. Okay? If it lands on the outside or the middle lines, the lines are part of the playing surface. Remember, we defined the playing surface as the green lines. Anything that lands outside of the green line is out. But if it touches the green line, that's still part of the playing surface. Okay? Now there's a weird pickleball rule on the serve, and it's the blue line. The blue line. Your serve has to cross the blue line. If it touches the blue line, it's out. It's a dumb rule. I want to change it, but nobody listens to me. All the lines should be the same way, in my opinion, but that's the way it is. Okay, so all lines are in except for the blue line on the serve. This area in here is called the no volley zone. You'll often hear people call it the kitchen, right? So the serve can't land in the kitchen or the no volley zone. It needs to cross diagonally from one court to the other, and it has to land somewhere on the playing surface, which includes the outside and middle lines. Does that make sense? All right, so we're just going to practice now. We're going to go back to our courts, go to the same part you had. We're going to rotate in 2 or 3 minutes, and we're just going to practice serving back and forth. So we're going to have 4 players on this court. We'll have the 2 diagonals, serving and catching, and serving and catching. And then on the other court, we'll have 2 people just serving and catching on one of the diagonals. Serve and catch. You guys need a ball? There's one over there. You guys have a ball? There's a ball. Ball. You got a ball. Awesome. Who's your partner, Ryan? Okay, then you're going to pass the ball to Stevie. Stevie's going to serve to outside of the green line. Yep.
You serve 2 people at once, or one serve at a time?
You are going to serve to Ryan. You're going to serve to Ryan. You guys are just going to practice serving back and forth. Caroline. I keep thinking Constantine. Caroline and Stevie are going to practice serving back and forth to each other. Yep. Just catch it.
I still have to be outside.
No. You can catch it anywhere. Yeah. Just catch, and then serve it back. There you go. Okay, good practice. I'll close this door so that doesn't happen again. Good serve, Sandy. You have to hit it harder than that. Good serve, Stevie. You want to get a little higher, Manny. Good serve. Well done, Caroline. Good serve. Awesome. All right, let's rotate. So Caroline's our anchor. Everybody's going to rotate around Caroline. Ryan, you're going to end up back over here. Right on. Yeah, you're going to the far other side of Caroline. All right, you're going to pass your ball to Valerie, because Manny's got a ball. Just give her the ball. Yeah. There we go. Oops. Here, let's try a different paddle. There we go. Much better. So you have to swing a little bit harder. Good serve. Good serve, Stevie. Oh. Very good serve, Stevie. That's a great serve. Okay, come on in, you two. Okay, we're doing great. Yeah, everybody come in. Okay, now we're going to learn about what a rally is. We're going to use U4 as our rallier. You're only going to need one ball, and Mandy's going to serve it. So, we're going to learn what a rally is. A rally starts with a serve, and then it ends with either the ball going out of bounds, or going into the net, or a penalty being called by a referee, something like that will end the rally. And at the end of a rally, the team is either going to get a point or a loss of serve. Okay? But we're not going to do the point or the loss of serve right now. We're just going to deal with the start of a rally and the end of a rally. So the serve has to be diagonal. After that, the ball can go anywhere in the court. Any of the players can hit it. The serve has to go diagonal, and it has to land outside of the kitchen, this center area. But after that, the ball can go anywhere on the court. It can go on either side. It can land in the kitchen or not land in the kitchen. There's some special kitchen rules that I'll deal with tomorrow or maybe later today, but we're not going to deal with those right now. Okay, so we're just going to start a rally, see how it goes. So Manny's going to serve to Caroline, and we're just going to play the rally out. And, oh, Ryan, I'm going to move you over to that post. I'm going to leave you right here, Sandy. You're going to stay on this post. All right. So we're going to be alternating between playing and watching. Playing and watching. Okay, so Mandy, you're going to serve. We're going to start a rally. Okay, so that serve was out. That serve landed here, so that would be out. So that would be a loss of the rally for that team. That's awesome. We're going to rotate one position. So everybody rotate one position. Carolyn's going to slide over. Sandy, you're going to go right here. There you go. Ryan's going to serve now, so pass Ryan the ball. Okay, there we go. Ryan's going to serve now. Okay, so that landed out. So that would be a loss of rally for this side. Okay, everybody rotate one position. Valerie, you're going to serve now. Yep. Perfect. Okay, Valerie's going to serve to Stevie. All right. Okay, so that would be a loss of rally for this side, right? Everybody see that? Okay, rotate one position. You're going to serve now, Caroline. There we go. Good serve. Okay. So that was a swing and a miss by Stevie. The ball bounced twice on the court. As soon as it bounced the second time, that rally ended. You guys won the rally. You guys lost the rally. Okay, rotate one position. All right, you're going to serve, Sandy. Good serve. Oh, yeah, look at that. Well done. Good serve. All right, you guys keep rallying. Oh, good rally. Good rally. Nice try. So who won that rally? Did you not just hit it into the net? Yeah, so they won. You're right. You're right. You're right. No, that's fine. Just keep going. I'm just going to start asking at the end of each rally now who won the rally, just so that I can be sure that everybody understands what a rally is and who's winning the rallies. Okay? All right. Who won that rally? That's right. They did. Good stuff. Does everybody understand who's winning and losing the rallies? Okay, good. Well done. Okay.
You said you're not allowed to step on the line, or can you step
On the serve, not on the serve. Yeah. Okay, so on the serve, Ryan's question was, are you allowed to step on the line on the serve? Can everybody hear me? Okay. You cannot be touching the line or any part of the playing surface when your serving stroke makes contact with the ball. After that, so I can go hit and step, that's not a problem. But if I go step and hit, that would be a fault. Okay? It's the back green line, yes, the outside green line. That was a good serve. It touched the line, right? But that's it. Yeah. So who won the rally? They did. Yep. Yep. They're not common, but they do exist. So we're always going to have Manny serve for now because we're just practicing. Or that corner, I mean. That corner will always serve. All right. Pause. So Stevie hit a ball out of the air. Is that legal? It is. Yeah, it's totally legal. She's allowed to hit a ball out of the air. But there are some rules. So let's talk about that. That was a great shot. Okay. You are allowed to hit a ball out of the air, but there are some rules. The first, so the serve has to bounce. You can't hit that one out of the air. The return of serve has to bounce. You can't hit that one out of the air. We call that the two bounce rule. So it goes serve bounce, return bounce, and then you can volley. Provided you are not standing in the no volley zone when you volley.
You can never be in the kitchen
when you volley.
It's like tennis, like you can be in the kitchen. I think you can keep the ball.
There is no kitchen in tennis.
Okay, yeah, I know, but we can volley. Okay, no.
Yeah, you can volley in tennis from anywhere on the court. But in pickleball, because the court is so small, if Ryan and I stood right here, nobody would be able to score a point, right? So we have to create some space, right, for people to be able to play the game. And to keep people back, we have this no volley zone line. So you can hit a ball, you can be in here anytime you want. You can eat your lunch in here. You could be surfing your phone in here during a point if you want. But you cannot hit a ball out of the air while any part of your body is touching the no volley zone. You can block from back here. You can block from back here. You can volley from back here. But you can't be, if even the toe of my shoe is even touching the blue line. The blue line. Yeah, this is the kitchen line, the blue line. So remember on the serve, it has to cross the blue line, right? That's because this is the kitchen line. Yeah, the green line here is actually a badminton line. We don't use it in pickleball.
So it has to bounce.
So serve bounce, return bounce, and then you can volley.
What if the ball is like very good with the net? Do I have to let it bounce and then hit?
You have to let it bounce. Yeah. Now, some people will think that they can't go in here. You can go in here.
Yeah, you just can't volley.
You just can't volley while you're in here.
This could be the kill zone.
The what? The kill zone? It could be.
If you do a drop shot here, it'll be difficult to get.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's what you want to do. Okay, so we're gonna continue our rallying. We're gonna be aware of the no volley zone, and we're gonna call out initially serve bounce, return bounce, just so everybody gets used to that concept. Okay, so go back to your positions. Yeah, wherever you just finished for now. Okay, well then rotate. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. All right, so here we go. Ready? Serve, bounce, return, bounce. Out. Okay. That's great. Everybody stop for a second. So Ryan hit a ball in the kitchen. Did you guys see that? Or did he do it legally? Yeah, yeah. So you can be in the kitchen, but he did not hit it out of the air. Okay, everybody come in. Everybody come in. Everybody come in, please. Everybody, when a student asks the instructor the question, the instructor answers the question. It is not helpful to me if everybody is shouting answers at the student. Okay, so he's not allowed. Remember at the very beginning we did ground strokes and volleys. So that ball bounced on the ground, so that's a ground stroke. Stevie hit one out of the air, which is a volley. His ground stroke was in the no volley zone. He can't volley in this area, but he can hit a ground stroke. Yeah, it's fine to go in the kitchen as long as you don't volley. Now Stevie hit a volley, but she was back there outside of the no volley zone, so that was great. Okay? And then the very last thing that happened was Sandy hit a ball out. Okay? So this is the last thing we're going to quickly review. We're going to do this in about 2 minutes. We won't even do a rotation. When the ball lands out, I want everybody to say out loud enough for every person in the room to hear it. And I want you to point out. We use a combination of verbal and hand signals because it gets very noisy in this room. So when a ball is out, you have to say out loud enough for everybody to hear it, and you have to point. Okay, so we're going to practice our out calls now. All right, so we're not even going to rotate. Just go back to where you were. This is only going to take a couple of minutes. Okay, here we go. Out. Good. Okay, so let's talk about that. So it bounced first in the court, and then the second time outside. So we're only going to call out if the first bounce is out of the court. Right? This is why we're practicing. Now I see why he doesn't want to play with you. It did have a spin. It did. All right, rotate one position. We're gonna try and do a real out call here. Okay, so that's not an out, right? Because it landed, didn't cross the net. That's okay. Rotate one position. We're trying to get a real out call here. Oh, not quite out. We're trying to get an out call. Okay, rotate one position. Out! Awesome. Okay, let's get a water break, and then we're going to come back and do some more learning.
I was going to say, you can't be 10 already, but
That's it. Yeah, they haven't adjusted the clocks yet. We're having fun, but not that much fun.
Yeah, you look so familiar. I see a lot of people, so I was wondering.
I'm trying,
But I teach Pilates, so I see lots of people.
This thing's still on.
Our kids were at 8.
Okay, while you guys are resting and having water, come on out here. I'm going to talk to you. Well, actually, you can stay in here. Have a seat. I'll come in here and talk to you. All right, so we're playing the doubles version of the game. Each side gets 2 serves. So if Ryan and Stevie are playing Manny and Caroline, and you guys are serving, Stevie's going to serve. They're going to rally. Let's say that Stevie loses. On Stevie's rally, they lose. The serve is then going to pass to Ryan. Ryan is going to serve. They're going to rally. Ryan loses his rally. So now the serve changes sides. So it comes over to Carol and Emmanuel. That's called a side out. So when you lose your serve, we say second serve, which means that Ryan is going to serve the second time. And after Ryan loses his rally, it becomes side out. So now Carolyn is going to serve. She's the first server, right? So she's going to serve. They rally. They win a point. She changes sides. For winning the point, her reward is she changes sides. So they would switch around. She would serve again. She wins another point. They switch around. She'd serve again. They keep serving until she loses her rally, right? Then it would be second serve, which would be Manny. Manny would serve, and he would continue serving, and they would continue switching sides until he loses his rally. Then it's a side out, and it comes back to first serve, right?
Doesn't matter what side you start.
Very good question. And we're going to deal with that in detail tomorrow, but it does matter. So if Stevie starts the game on the right court, right, she'd be the game starting server, your team starting server. And if Carolyn started, she'd be the starting server on her team. So it's 0-0, and at every time your score are even, the starting server, the 2 ladies, are going to be on the right, and the 2 men will be on the left. If coming in your score is odd, it's going to be flipped around, right? Right? Yeah, so, and we're going to deal with all that tomorrow. Or sorry, I say tomorrow, I mean next lesson. Next lesson, okay? We're going to deal with all of that in detail. But But the one thing you should take away from this conversation now is that the starting server, so the person who starts the game on the right side, isn't always going to start the serve when the ball comes back to your side. Because sometimes they might be on the left, sometimes they might be on the right. And the player on the right is always going to start to serve the point, right? But if you know who started the game as the starting server, you know if your score is odd or even, right? So that's helpful. And in tournaments, starting servers, and next week, starting servers are going to wear a wristband, so we know who the starting server was. So it becomes very helpful for you. So, and if you move that wristband from your left to right wrist, depending on where you are, it's side out, it helps you remember exactly where you're supposed to be. But I'll cover all that next week.
It's simple.
So the only time you rotate is if you win your serve.
Yeah, if you win a rally on your serve, then you're going to switch sides and serve again. Yep, exactly.
When is the algebra class?
So the most difficult thing about pickleball is learning the scoring. For new players, is learning the scoring. I'll help you with all that next week. Believe me, by the time you go home, you'll know it. Well, most of you will know it. If you don't worry too much about it, because you can come to an additional practice if you want. That's going to be an option. You can sign up for an additional practice. You can come to a scorekeeping clinic if you want. You can just go play with beginners, and they will teach you how to keep score. Don't sweat it. You'll figure it out. But I'm going to give you some tools next week that will make it it should make it a lot easier for you to understand it. Okay? We're going to go back on court now that you've had a rest and some water, and we're going to learn about switching serves. All right, any one of the 6 positions, just grab one. Any one of the 6 positions. Just find a spot and go to one of the 6 positions. So 1 on the post, 2 on each baseline. Doesn't matter to me who's where to start. All right, so Stevie is going to start the game. We're not going to count points. We're just understanding now how the serve changes. Okay, so we're going to have a rally with Stevie serving. All right, out! Awesome, good job. Okay, so Stevie won her rally. Her reward is she gets to serve again, right? So hang on one second. That would be a point. If we were counting points, that would be a point. Okay, and you would get to serve again. Oh, there we go. Okay, so who won the rally? They won the rally. Stevie lost, so the serve passes to Ryan. Now Ryan gets a chance to serve. What? Out! Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So it went serve bounce, return bounce. You were allowed to volley that, and you were not in the no volley zone, so you were doubly allowed to volley that. It was a very good volley at that. Okay? And then Ryan hit it out. So they have now, server number 1 and server number 2 have lost. So now we have a side out. Carolyn's the first server on this side. Okay? So Carolyn's going to serve to Ryan. All right, point. All right, so switch sides. You're following this? You're following this? Valerie, you following this? Okay, good. Good. Okay. All right, so Carolyn's reward is she gets to serve again.
Good girl.
Ah, it bounced twice. Okay, so they win the rally, which means that Carolyn lost her serve. So now it's second serve. Everybody do this. Second serve. Okay? Sandy. Yep. All right. Okay. So Sandy lost her rally. So what do we have? Side out. Okay. Our symbol for side out is this. Side out. Okay. Coming in. Oh, no, stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Hang on 1 second. Okay, so that's, we're going to stop there. We're going to rotate, but 1 minute. Okay? So I want you to notice when we started the game, Stevie was on the right, but now Stevie's on the left. Right? So even though she's the starting server for the game, she wouldn't be the starting server for this. She wouldn't be the first server for this rally. It would be Ryan, because clearly your score is odd, right? You guys got 1 point, didn't you? Okay? I want everybody to make note of that, because that's the thing everybody's going to be confused about next week, is the difference between the starting server and the first server. You're confused, aren't you? Okay. Don't worry about it. We'll get it straightened out next week. But just note that a starting server and a first server are not always the same thing. Okay? All right. Let's rotate 1 position. Good stuff. Okay. Now our 2 ladies here are going to help us with the calls. You're going to say, you're going to call all of the line calls, like out, if it bounces twice. You're going to tell us whose serve it is. Okay? So, yeah, starting server for the game. Yeah, okay. Yes. Just down. Down. There we go. That's good. Who won? Who won? So that's a point, isn't it? What happens on a point? Yep. Yep. So that would be a point for them, right? Out. Okay. Everybody come in for a second. We got to talk about this. So my friend Manny here called out before the ball hit the ground. That's totally fine. When he makes the out call before it hits the ground, that's him talking to his partner, telling his partner that it would be out. It's not a call. If he says out after it hits the ground, that's a call. Okay? In pickleball, you're not going to have a referee almost at any time unless you're playing in a tournament, right? So Steve and Ryan are going to, or Manny and Ryan are going to call the lines on their side of the court, and Sandy and Carolyn are going to call the lines on their side of the court, right? And you guys have to live with their calls. You can't argue them. And they have to live with your calls, right? So you guys are going to make good calls for them because you want them to make good calls for you. It's called the code. We all live by the code. If you cheat in pickleball, everybody will know that you cheat and nobody will want to play with you. So your integrity is never worth 1 point in one game that means nothing. So call the lines fairly. Okay? So he did call out. I wanted to make that point. You are allowed to do that, but it's not a call unless it hits the ground first. Okay, so that was another point for Manny. That was another point. So first server still, right? There we go. All right. So that was out. Yeah. Okay, so that's a point. Still the first server, isn't it? Out. Okay. So they lost. So now it's second serve. Okay, Ryan is the second server. Oh, lost the rally. So now what? Side out, first serve. Yep. Good stuff. Out. Okay. So point. Oh no, no, never mind. Second serve. Out. That landed in the kitchen. Yeah. So that's a fault, actually. Yeah. So side out, first serve. Ryan serve. Yeah, let's rotate. Yeah, let's rotate. Come on in, Carolyn. You're going to call outs and faults. Okay, can everybody hear me? The ball lands outside of the court, that's out. If it lands in the kitchen, that's a fault. You'll hear people call it out. That's okay, we understand what they mean. But the real call is fault. Okay? It was down. Yeah. So is that a point? Point. Okay, so what happens on a point, Carolyn? What's your reward for winning the point?
High five.
Your reward for winning the point is you get to serve again, but you have to do it from the other side now. Okay? All right. Point. Exactly. So is this first or second server? Yes. Still the first server, right? Yep. Yep. Good. Oh, okay. So now what? Second serve. That's right. Out. That was your call. Out. Okay, now what? Side out. Which server is she? Oh, stay there, Manny. Stay there. Yeah. So it's side out, first serve, right? Okay. Point, first serve. Second serve, right? You lost your serve. So now it's second serve. Yep. Out. So now what? Yeah. Now what? Side out. Okay, let's rotate one position. I'm going to not talk now. I want you guys to work through it, okay? Hang on. Is it second serve or point? Those are two different things.
Point, but
Point?
it was from the second serve.
Oh, from the second server. Okay. I understand. Yeah. I get it. See, I shouldn't talk. Still second server? Good. Ooh. Side out. Awesome. First server. Uh-oh. Second server. Second serve. Yep. Oh, fault. Serve bounce. Return didn't bounce. Right? Okay. Somebody come in. Okay. You guys are doing awesome. That would be a side out at that point, yes. There you go. There you go. All right, great. Yeah. So he volleyed, so it went serve, and then a return, and then he volleyed. Okay? And that happens a lot unless you know that you're supposed to stand in the correct position. So if your partner is serving, you should both be behind the serve line to remind yourself not to do that. Okay, so there was a serve. The serve bounced. Caroline returned the serve. It was in the air. He should have let it bounce, but he didn't. He hit it out of the air. Yeah, so there's that 2 bounce rule. Yeah, no worries. And that's good. If you're confused, ask the question. Okay? So the way that you remember it, the way that you remember not to do that is to make sure you're standing in the right place. So we're gonna do exactly what we've been doing, but I'm going to introduce some new information now, and that's about where to stand. Okay? So everybody rotate once. Go back to your starting positions. Okay? Are you going to be out here, Carolyn? Are you out? No? Okay. So Stevie's going to be serving. They know that they're going to serve. You guys are going to return, and they have to let it bounce. Right? So they're going to stay back. Right? You're going to stay back because you know you have to let the ball bounce before it gets to you. Right? Yeah. But your partner doesn't have to worry about any of this stuff, does he? Right? So the receiver's partner can come right up to here, which is where you want to be most of the time. Okay? So this is our starting lineup when we start every rally. The server and their partner are going to be back. The receiver is going to be back. The receiving partner is going to be forward. Okay? So let's get in. Fault. That's right. It was a fault. So what happens? Second serve. Okay, so hang on. So now what do you guys do? You're the receiver's partner now. All the way up. Yeah, all the way up. There we go. Good stuff. You want to be back. Yeah. Out. So that is side out. Okay. First server, server's partner, receiver, receiver's partner. Good alignment. Good stuff. Fault. Second serve. Server, server's partner, receiver, receiver's partner. That was in. It was on the line, so it was good. Yeah. Okay, so it was on the line, so that's good. That's it. That's in. Okay, and it was a point for you guys. What's your reward? That's right. Exactly. Okay. Server and the server's partner, receiver, receiver's partner. Good stuff. Nice job, Stevie. Oh! All right. So point. Now, hold on 1 second. is Emmanuel our first server or our second server? He's our second server, right? Okay. Out! Okay, so now what? No. Oh, he hit it out. Your partner hit it out.
He got the look.
So that's side out. All right. First server, Stevie's serving. Yeah, nice job. Okay. So, second server. Out! That's a fault. Okay. So now what? Side out. Okay, let's rotate. You got this, Carolyn? Is it Carolyn or Caroline? Caroline? You prefer Caroline? Okay, that's a sure way to have me call you Carolyn for the rest of your life. Caroline, okay. All right, so Valerie's going to serve to start the game. Valerie is our team starting server. Just getting it. Fault. Okay. Yeah, let me show you what happened. Okay, everybody come into the net. Okay. In that particular case, he hit the ball and then stepped into the kitchen. In pickleball, that is also a fault. If in the motion of hitting a volley, your forward momentum carries you into the kitchen, that is also a fault. What's that?
I thought you could. It was a way to
You can't volley in the kitchen. You also can't step into the kitchen while in the process of volleying.
It
So
would have been different.
It would have been fine
When
if I
you
just done
serve,
it.
you can hit and go in.
when you serve in the court, yeah, they
When
are
you're
different.
Serving,
Yep.
you can hit and then step in.
Yep.
But here you
You
cannot
cannot.
do the same.
That's right.
So
Yep.
it comes to your side, but his momentum carried him to the.
That's
So I
right.
would have been fine.
So he made contact with his foot not in the kitchen, but then he followed through and he stepped into the kitchen. So that's a fault. The opposite of serving. And pickleball has a number of these little anomalies that aren't consistent. You just have to learn them and accept them and not blame me for them. Oh. Point. Good job, Sandy. Is Valerie our first server or our second server? She's still our first server, isn't she? Okay. Oh.
Second server.
Awesome. So second serve now, right? Second serve. Fault. Fault. Didn't cross the kitchen line.
Side out. Wait, side out.
Side out.
First serve. Point.
Point. Point.
She's kidding me. Yeah, point. Point.
Point. Yep. You got this.
Maybe I should keep quiet, let somebody else.
No, that's good. You're helping. Out. Was that volley? Was that volley legal? How do you know? It wasn't the second shot, right? Yeah. And she was outside of the kitchen, so that's good. Point again. Yep, point again. Point again. Oops, sorry. Oh. It's in. Out. Point. Caroline is a point machine. Okay, so that would be a loss for you guys, right? So second serve now. Second serve. Oh, there we are. And that's a side out. Awesome. Okay, everybody, we're going to grab a drink, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to tell you the last important rule that you don't know yet, and it's going to blow your mind. So.
And then we have to remember it for a whole week.
Yeah.
I don't think that kitchen was a good one for husbands.
No?
I think that was just sinking.
Then you should write a long, nasty letter to the World Pickleball Federation.
You let her win too many points. I'll never hear you.
She's on trial.
Oh, God. It's going to get to her head.
I can understand why Caroline doesn't want to play with you now. She's too good for you, Manny.
Oh, well. Actually, I lost my ten.
Alright, so grab on the side of the board and let's just start playing, continue playing our points. So we got to do that and put this down there.
It's something. Pass your ball. Okay. 3 guys, we have 5 minutes.
You can play.
No, she's playing.
Okay, good. I'll go stand in the penalty box.
Second serve.
So when we started the game, did the starting team only get 1 serve?
Oh, actually, we started over there. Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, they got two.
We'll start over. We're gonna start. The starting team only gets 1 turn to serve.
First serve, 1 point.
So if I lose it, then we don't get to.
That's right.
No, don't change yet.
So confusing.
Second serve. Point.
I can tell you to play raffles.
Ready?
Hit the green. Is that right? Okay.
Sandy. Sandy.
Was it?
Sandy.